Hey everybody, William here and
Sarah.
And we're going to talk to you about some really boring legal stuff
But this is really important.
Really important.
We're going to talk to you about something called agency. Agency is a Minnesota law. We're just disclosing to you about this law today.
Yep. So we owe you something called a fiduciary responsibility. Now, this is just a general synopsis of this. If you want the actual PDF, you can click on a link somewhere around here, and you're going to get
it's going to be on this page.
Somewhere on this page. And you're going to be able to actually download agency and relationship. And it's going to say right on there, this is not a contract, it's only disclosure. It's an acronym, it's old CAR, OLDCAR. Obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accounting, and reasonable care. Obedience. If you give us a lawful order, we have to follow it.
Will you go rob a bank?
Yes, but not for you, for me.
Will you write this offer that's a little bit lower than asking price?
Yes, I will, because that is a lawful order.
And you are our client.
Boomski. Loyalty. We're loyal to you and to your transaction. If you're a buyer, that means we have to write the offer that you request. And if you're a seller, that means if you say no showings on Tuesday between 2:30 and 9:45, that's fine.
We're loyal to our client.
And to your needs. Disclosure. If we see something, we have to say something. So that means if we're in a home and I notice that a window's broken, or Sarah notices that there's no window treatments, we see that, so we have to disclose that. Also, what that means is, say we're in a buying process and you ask us, hey, if I submit my offer no inspection, what does that mean?
Our job is to tell you all the ramifications of a decision, the good and the bad.
Sometimes it seems like we're forced, like going down this rabbit hole and we're trying to steer you one way or another. I promise you we're not. We're over-informing you.
We just want you to have all the information that you need to make a decision.
Confidentiality. Now, this is a really important one. Just follow me on this. Confidentiality is the only fiduciary responsibility that survives the execution of the purchase agreement.
We learn a lot about you in the home buying and selling process. That is really important, that once the process is done, the things that we know stay confidential. When you think about financial information, personal information, motivation, that's your business. We may know some of it because we're helping you be a part of this transaction, but that is not our business to share.
What do we call it?
None ya.
None ya business. Accounting, we have to give you good faith numbers. On the listing side of things, if you're selling your home and you think your home can sell for $450 and I think it can sell for $375, but somebody else comes in and says they can sell it for $600, I have to give you what we consider our good faith numbers. Whether you want to hear them or not, they're from good faith, so that's why we have to do that. Reasonable care. Now, this is a two-way street. Reasonable care is, if you give us one of those lawful orders, we have to follow it in a reasonable amount of time. And now I'm going to equate that on the buy side. If it's Monday at 5 o'clock at night and you want to see a property Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's a reasonable request. And we're going to do everything we can to accommodate that request. Now, if it's 5 o'clock at night and you want to see a property at 5:30, we will honestly do everything we can to accommodate that request, but it's a little unreasonable to expect that to happen that quickly. Same thing on the listing side. If somebody wants to see your home at 5 o'clock at night and they request at 4 o'clock, do everything you can to accommodate that, but it's just not reasonable.
The one thing I can say with reasonable care, and actually all of these, is great communication will help every single fiduciary responsibility.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about agency here. There's three types of agency. There's a buyer's agent, a listing agent, and dual agency.
If I am a buying agent, the RE/MAX results represents the buyer. I am helping RE/MAX results represent the buyer in the transaction. Their price, terms, and motivation are confidential, and I'm going to do whatever I can to meet the buyer's needs.
It's our job to get you the house as quick as possible, as little hassle as possible, and for the least amount of money as possible.
If I'm the seller's agent, the listing agent, RE/MAX results would be representing the sellers. And so when it comes to that, the price, terms, and motivation are confidential, and we do whatever we can to negotiate for the sellers.
When we're selling your home, still to be as quick as possible, as little hassle as possible, but now we're trying to get as much money as possible. Minnesota still has a system called dual agency. It's a very common thing, and it is very easily misunderstood.
So tell me the high level bits about dual agency, Will.
You're telling me that because I love to talk about this
Yeah.
and you want me to go on a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I just want the high level.
The high level. The difference between representation and agency. On dual agency, that would mean our brokerage, Remax Results, represents the buyer and the seller. The one difference is we still owe you all the fiduciary responsibilities: obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accounting, and reasonable care. The one difference here is we cannot give our opinion.
And we're not going to negotiate to the detriment of either
One party or the other. If you want to know more information about that, reach out to me. Clear your afternoon. I'll talk your ear off about it for hours because I absolutely love it. Or any topic. The last thing that is pretty important, and this is not a fun topic, but it is one that has to be brought up.
And that's about predatory offenders. So with predatory offenders, sellers do not have to disclose if a predatory offender lives in the neighborhood.
So what does that mean for buyers?
So for buyers, what we suggest to all buyers is do your research. And this doesn't matter what area you're moving to, just wherever you are, do the research about the city that you're looking at, research on your neighborhood. You can always contact your local police and ask for data that, how much activity has been in the neighborhood.
On that form, does it give you any numbers or websites to go to?
It gives you your website and a phone number to call. And as agents, we're not going to be the ones to do that research for you. We're going to empower you to do that research. And we're going to give you the tools that you need.
And that's for a legal reason. We could talk about that later as well. But that is the fiduciary responsibilities that any real estate agent in the state of Minnesota owes you, not just us. So if you have any questions about that, please reach out, click one of these buttons right here. You can download the PDF and you can actually schedule a time to give us a call and talk about any topic or this one specifically. Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.